Welcome back to the Now Morning Show. We're shifting into the realm of sport. Our next conversation is about the Carifta Triathalon and Aquathalon 2024. With us this morning is Rianna Harrinauth, head coach, and Noah Teixeira, male athlete from 16 to 19-year-old category, and Julia Celestine, 13 to 15-year-old category athlete as well. Good morning and welcome.
Good morning.
Thank you so much for joining us this morning. It's a pleasure to have you. I can only imagine how busy your schedules are, but I'm sure you're used to all getting up this early. Yes? Okay. So, Rianna, let's start with you this morning. Can you give us an overview of the triathlon and aquathalon that's taking place?
Sure. So, triathlon is 3 disciplines. It's swim, bike, and run. And the aquathalon is a swim, then a run. These kids, the athletes, range from age 11 up to 21. They're preparing for the Carifta Triathalon and Aquathalon Championships. It's taking place in Barbados this year. Okay. And that takes place from it takes place on August 15th and 16th. The countries will be from the Caribbean and a few of the external Caribbean countries as well. And they all have kids representing from in all different sports. So they have triathlon, they have aquathalon, they have athletes who are doing both as well.
Wow.
They're really good.
Yeah.
So these kids are training hard. They're putting in efforts in all 3 disciplines, swimming, cycling, and running, for those who are doing triathlon. And they're also doing strength work. They're training with their individual clubs as well as with the national coaches.
Okay, excellent. And of course, we're seeing on screen just a touch of some of the preparation. Definitely has piqued my interest. So seeing here that you're training on the west of the island, the Western Peninsula, correct?
Correct.
Noah, what inspired you to get involved in triathlon and aquathalon?
I would actually say COVID. So, like during COVID, during the lockdown, I felt like I needed to get outside and do something, and so it was actually the beginning of 2022 that I started, and it was because we had been in lockdown for so long. I'd just been home doing nothing. I was like, I have to get outside. I have to do something that allows me to breathe, get fresh air, and that's really what inspired me. I did do triathlon prior to COVID, but I wasn't very competitive, and it's really COVID that inspired me to increase my training and get more competitive.
Excellent. So, yeah. And Julia, what about you? What inspired you?
For me, it was my friends, as during my time being an athlete, I was a swimmer, and I used to struggle a lot with continuously, competitively swimming, and they invited me to do the school series aquathalon, which basically started my journey into triathlon.
Okay. Now, you mentioned school, so how do you balance school life, social life, and training for an event like this?
Well, for an event like this, right now, you kind of have to block out, go into parties or go into limes, because even though you can go to it on your free time, for me, I find that when I just relax and just keep calm, and I could watch my other friends hanging out, and I know that I won't miss anything because they're having fun for me.
Oh, excellent. And Noah, what about you? How do you balance everything?
Well, one thing I will say is I do go to bed late almost every night, especially during school time, because I have training 2 to 3 times a day sometimes, and then after that I have to do my homework. So I do go to bed late, but I try my best to get things done as quickly as possible so I can get the required amount of sleep, because obviously as a triathlete, sleep is extremely important. But yeah, so that's what I would say. I just try to, as soon as I finish training, I get onto my homework one time and try to finish it as soon as possible.
Oh, definitely no rest there. Rianna, Noah just said training sometimes 2 to 3 times.
Yes.
What is the training schedule like for these young athletes?
It varies per athlete and their age groups, but because it's 3 disciplines, it's swimming, cycling, and running for most of them, and strength definitely plays an important factor in that. So you'll be looking at 4 different sports basically that they have to fit into a week, and something like swimming they can do up to 7 times a week depending on the level of the athlete. It's a lot of training that they have to fit in, but it's not very lengthy segments, but it is multiple segments that they do have to get from one to the other. Recovery, proper nutrition, and rest is also very important. So it is a lot to manage.
Yeah, it sounds like it's a lot to manage, and we're definitely going to get back to that. Julia, let's come back to you. What are you looking forward to most for the Carifta Games?
The
triathalon, rather.
For the triathlon, I'm quite excited as I'll be able to race again with my friends from my competing other countries. but I'm kind of nervous also because I know what they're capable of. I know how they train, I know how they race, but yet again, I know what I'm capable of, and I know how I could perform at Carifta. So I'm hoping to do well.
Okay, excellent. And Noah, what about you? What are you looking forward to the most?
I'm looking forward to the course actually because I've raced this course in Barbados that we're doing for Carifta. I've raced it twice already. I raced it in the beginning of last year for the Developmental Cup, and I also raced it for the Barbados National Triathlon at the end of last year. So I've raced this course twice. I'm quite experienced with the course, and that is what I'm looking forward to, because when in 2022 in Bermuda and 2023 in the Bahamas, I didn't actually know the course, but this course I know. So I feel like I'd be a bit more experienced on it.
Excellent. Looking forward to that. Rianna, for those who are watching, parents especially, who would love for their children to get involved in this sort of thing, what would you recommend?
For the younger ones especially, or any of the athletes, any of the kids who are now getting into it, they can definitely look at their communities, the smaller clubs, the community clubs, or not necessarily you're not starting at a national level, but getting introduced into the sport is important. It's not about being competitive at the start. You definitely want to learn to swim, want to get a regular mountain bike, do a little biking, get a little running in. And there are community clubs around. They can always check on the Triathlon Federation website for more of information as to where the clubs are located, and they can get their kids involved. The Triathlon Federation also has a primary and secondary school series that offers the multi-sport one event every term, and it is catered for kids to get introduced into the sport.
Excellent. Well, Rianna, Noah, and Julia, thank you so much for joining us. All the best, and looking forward to seeing a lot more great things from all of you.
Thank you very much.
Have a great day.
Thank you so much.
So we continue the conversation right here, right now. We're shifting from right here in studio all the way to